Hello, Namaskar. You are warm welcome in this live interactive session of CIT NCRT. You all are watching us on eVidya channel number 6 to 12 and beside this on our official YouTube channel, that is NCERT Official. My name is Rachan Rajput and once I am very happy to welcome you again on this 5-day 5-hour online training program. As we have a topic for this 5-day 5-hour online training program on cyber security concerns in emerging technologies, that organized by CIT NCRT in collaboration with Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, Ministry of Home Affairs, to enhance the understanding of teachers, students, educators and various stakeholders on social media and its various aspect to cyber security. Today on day 5 we have another special topic, as this is the last day of this online training program. We are going to discuss demystifying cyber threat intelligence, and this is an important topic on last day for discussing, and we have guests in the studio. Sir Dr. Deepak Kumar is with us. Sir is a senior cyber intelligence expert from I4C MHA. Sir, warm welcome. Namaskar. Swagat hai. And most welcome to all of you, or the beautiful audience is with us. So we are on day 5, as I am going to tell you about how and what we learn in these 4 days. So that's also on your screen. I am going to tell you on day 1, that's a schedule of CIT page, and we learn on day 1 Internet of Things IoT with Sir Shri Amit Giri, and on day 4 we learn ransomware emerging threats and its countermeasures, and on day 4 artificial intelligence AI based attack. On day 4 we learn online banking and cyber security concerns. As all 4-day link and presentation link and the videos are also uploaded, so that you are feel free to link these videos to know more about this cyber security online program. So now let me tell you how you can connect with us. There are so many mediums to connect with us. First of all, there is a special particular mail ID to be with us. Please feel free to write on training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in, or you can call us on 8800440559. Beside all these medium, there are that's a very particular and a very convenient medium to reach on us. Please feel free to comment your queries and question on YouTube live chat box. So don't put your attendance there, because there is no attendance link. Just there put your queries and your question, as we have another important topic to learn and discuss again. Sir, first of all, I want to know what is this CTI, cyber threat intelligence, and why it is important to discuss on day 5, and what the tools or what the tech we can use regarding this.
First of all, thank you once again for this platform. And coming back to the question about the CTI, basically CTI stands for cyber threat intelligence. CTI is a cyber threat intelligence, like the threats basically we are talking about, which is coming in cyber domain, and collecting those all threats, studying those threats in evidence format basically, in the manner so we can prevent ourselves, our organization, to be attacked by threat actors or hackers basically in this domain. So that is a very important aspect nowadays, because everything is digitization, and hence we are using different services for the using internet perspective 1, through mobile application perspective 2, booking something like that, hospitality sector, for anything. So somewhere this technology things are really play important role, but pertaining to the know about who are the hackers, who are the intruders, who are the, that's kind of intelligence we required.
Yes.
So by the same session today, like I have some sort of content or some examples to showcase exactly what exactly is CTI.
Yeah.
So
Before starting the topic, I want to tell you all that that's a 5-day, 5-hour online training program, and on our last day, we are on day 5. We conduct a quiz for you. Post-session quiz is open on 5:30. I'm sure you already registered for it, and if you don't, please make it sure that immediately you must register and participate in this quiz. Now we are begin. Sir, over to you. Can we start the topic?
yeah, sure. So like by the continuation of the same thing, here we talk about the objective, exactly why CTI, why cyber threat intelligence is important, and if somebody want to make a career or somebody want to leverage this technology in their study perspective or in the company perspective, so everything has, like, I'm going to cover in this situation. So from the screen perspective, like the slide, we do have a threat intelligence posture. What exactly is this one? So we have seen that here it's an evidence-based knowledge, evidence-based information which contains like context, indicators, implications, everything, and accordingly we have to use that information or intelligence so we can do prevention, we can take some action for the advisory perspective in this regard. So this entire flow is talking about the cycle of a cyber threat intelligence, and similarly here the major role is what exactly about the data, about the information, and if the data we do have, if the information we do have, how this data can be studied in a proper manner, and that information we have to do a such practice like where we have to find some intelligence, and that intelligence can really help for the same thing.
Yes.
So that is the first point. Similarly, when you're talking about the types, basically the types are very, very important in this regard.
Yes.
So types, like we have SOTT model, like strategic, operational, technical and tactical. So when we use this threat intel is what, like it's a curative information, which is like a information which we have to see that this information really help for any sort of mechanism. But when you talk about the information, like suppose we take real example, in real example, like we got some information where if information has been leaked and posted on internet, if the same information posted on internet, then if user get to know this information, then where he or she should report.
Yes.
If
that's
that
important
content, exactly,
question, yes.
if a threat pertaining to suppose Delhi Metro, so who is the entity here? The data which is leaked basically of a Delhi Metro. So somewhere Delhi Metro superiors or officials, they have to, there should be a proper channel where a victim or a user or a professional can able to report to the Delhi Metro professional. But the point is that what information? So it's a threat information. So sometime this information categorized in such manner that it is a really red TLP, like it's a very confidential, or it's like it can create chaos in the market. Yes. Or sometimes it's like an information which may really impact the health or the physical or any financial issue with the users basically. So that is the severity of that particular, which we can say.
Yeah.
Now point number 2, when talking about the information, so in last slide we have discussed about the data, information, intelligence. So we have a distinguish or different mechanism for the data. That is one. But when we collect, like we have assorted chocolates and toffees, everything, or biscuits, everything at one place. If you want to segregate toffees in one side and chocolates in second side and maybe some other things, so that is segregation, that is information.
Yes.
But when we use which chocolates or which particular cookies are we have to use for a rotten perspective, for eating perspective, then accordingly we can distinguish. That is clear.
Yeah. One thing I need to mention there, as sir told me earlier before the session, if you have to report any kind of cyber crime, then please feel free to call on 1930, that's a helpline number, or you can visit www.cybercrime.gov.in. Sir, am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. But that is a crime pertaining incident we have to report. But if any cyber security or incident happened, then CERT India's Computer Emergency Response Team, that is the nodal agency for India where you can report. But of course, you said, rightly said, ki any crime related stuff, cybercrime.gov.in. If any financial fraud happened, you definitely remember that 1930 helpline number, which can really help in this regard. So we have to be understand with these helpline concern.
Yes.
So moving ahead, I explained about the types of the information which we do have. But generally when you're talking about like strategic perspective information, we have to take action, tactical perspective, operational. So these are technical terms which is being used in this cyber security domain. So from the screen we have to see that strategic, we do have high level information on changing risk. The board members are the people who decide that either what the strategy or what the action they have to take. Similarly, operational mechanism is like details of a specific incoming attack. Like attack is what? Attack is talking about any information, any indicator which shows that something is going to be hacked. For example, if you talking about your website of NCERT, if somebody want to download that presentation and the website is not working, it's mean that some sort of cyber incident happened. And exactly if you ask which cyber incident, it could be denial of services. That's called distributed denial of service. That's called DDoS. So DDoS is a kind of cyber attack. So study that attack. We should know about the cyber technology. And once you know the cyber technology, then accordingly the website developer of the concerned website, he or she can able to study and they get to know the pattern. Ki somebody having a mass level of traffic which is coming on our website. Coming back to the technical part. So the indicators of specific malwares are important. So when you say indicators, so similarly if somebody asks ki what do you say, attack is happening from this IP to our website. So the IP is like internet protocol. So the IP addresses which we do have, it shows that from this IP things are happening. So somehow the IP known as a indicators. Or sometimes like if any person who do what, who try to call you multiple time, who try to threaten you on WhatsApp, in that case the number is your indicator. Or sometime like somebody say that ki do transaction on the QR code or maybe some sort of UPI ID. In that case the QR code and the UPI ID, that is the indicator. So the indicators is like a suspect linked information which we tell to police, which you tell to the concerned incident responder or the concerned agency. So here in technical point, the indicators to SOC, Security Operations Center, we are giving the hash values, that is 1. We're talking about the IP address, that is 2. We're talking about the URLs. I have given the example of Amazon.com, for example. If there is a Amazon1.com, then it's a fake website. It's a phishing website. So sometime Amazon1.com is a domain which we take an example. That example considering as a SOC alert, Security Operations Center alert, that somebody created fake website. Now take down this website. Otherwise, many normal users or citizens, they don't know exactly what is SOC. They can able to go to that website called Amazon. And the last is called the tactical. Tactical is talking about the methods. Sometime every hacker, every person, every criminal have their own mindset. Sometime a person having a concept like if somebody hack, he or she leave some sort of traces. Or some sort of indicators like somebody know, yes, this can be done by so and so hacker. So tactical talk about the attacker's methods and tactics. Sometime you heard that news like this, in this incident this organization may be behind. So why they say the organization behind is because that kind of situation is linked with that threat actor. When I am saying threat actor, it could be a hacker, it could be an intruder, it could be any smart professional who have good knowledge about cyber security in an offensive manner.
Can I ask one question here, please, sir? Doing some kind of restriction in search engine or browser can help us in this point of view? Yeah,
definitely. Have you heard or have you seen that like sometime when you open a website of any website, there are many pop-ups are coming.
Yes.
Like multiple ads are running, multiple videos are running, and by the time when you click something, it opens some different website.
Yes.
That is called pop-ups.
It happens.
And no doubt different ad agencies are doing deliberately to generate revenue or something like that. For the same concern, if you have a proper add-ons, ad blockers, something like that. So what happened, that advertisement blocker, small add-on for browser based, that can really help. So when you say ad blocker for Chrome is a browser. Talking about Brave browser, Safari, so every different Firefox, every different browser have their own like add-ons, where add-on is a small utilities you can download, and accordingly you can able to block the suspicious advertisement. That is one. If you ask me some name, there various names are there and having the same functionality. That is one. Point number 2, every time we have seen that the browser asks the password. Sometime when you log in into some portal, some website, it asks for remember me. So by the time if you do remember that password, what happened, that password stored in your browser. So suppose if somebody want to access the same website again and he want or she want to log in, then what happen? Then he or she easily they can able to access the website. That time it won't ask you the password. For the safer side, we have to set two-step verification, two-factor authentication, 2FA. In that case, he or she not able to log in, because if he or she log in, then what exactly required? It required the basically OTP.
Okay.
Similarly, the many tactics are there, and very important, update your browser. If you not update your browser, then what happen? Hacker can attack the browser and he or she can able to take access access of your browser through browser and from the machine. They compromise your computer basically, and the indicator is what exactly? The depreciated version of browser, the old browser, not updated browser basically, which is there. So that is simple tactics which I have said about the same thing.
Yeah, sir, many of viewers are connected with us and they are so appreciating your performance and the information given by you, sir. Thank you so much for this, our viewers said.
Thank you so much. I'm again to the viewers, I would say if any technology is there, if we explain the technology in a very simplest manner, that is the vision, that is the main USP for this NCRT basically from this channel.
Yes.
Again, I'm telling you, cyber threat intelligence by name it's look very fancy, but again we're talking about the meaning, the threats basically, different threats. If somebody asks like to whom you are going to like, to whom you are fear, to like how many people are there who create a threat for you, so that is a human threat. Yes. Similarly, when talking about the website or cyber threats, so like you have some weak website, some attacker can compromise your account, maybe you are on Instagram, maybe on your Facebook or somewhere, who can hack your account. In that case, the weak password is a threat basically. You have to update your password. Somebody like take your account and they hack your account, and accordingly they pose themselves as a you, and they ask money.
Like you.
Exactly, pretending themselves, and then they say asking money, and that time you don't know what to do. So that is one of the area where you should know to report through Instagram or through Facebook or through concerned channel. People are doing what? They try to search on Instagram. They do what? They search on Google. When they search on Google, they will get some sort of contact numbers and they make a call. And ultimately what happened? They lost, they fell into like this thing, like some hacker is there who asks the money and they can work out. That is the some tactics which is there. So now the point is that the next slide, that is about the cyber threat in a technological manner. And when talking about the threat manner, that is what exactly? Spearfishing, zero-day attack, malware, man in the middle attack, APT, advanced persistent threats, phishing, and denial of services, ransomware. I have covered about the ransomware in last presentation.
Yes.
SQL injection and DNS attack, domain name server. So what is happening here when you're talking about the threats basically? What is threat? Cyber threats.
Yes.
So when somebody say that key in your computer there may be presence of malware or a virus, how to check? So there are various content, like if computer is going too slow, sometimes maybe some like unknown messages or some unknown website will open sometimes. Maybe your computer got laggy like this one, or maybe it could be any reason. But point is that if you and your computer like is a part of internet, so somehow hacker who is sitting at any place for the same, he need only one medium, that is called internet. So through internet he or she can able to access your machine if your computer is compromised. So compromised perspective, these are the threats which is there which can help. So one is called spearfishing. Somebody asks, what is, I heard about phishing, what is spearfishing? So phishing is like a crafted page or like look alike page or domain, or you can say which undue advantage perspective which can take your information, your personal information. Suppose a website called facebook.com. If I say Facebook in FACEBOOK, instead of double O I can put 00. So people think that it's a Facebook. So they don't see the URL properly, and accordingly what happened that it may be a fake website, and simultaneously what happened, user don't know, they can go to and they enter his their own credential, and maybe that credential goes to the hacker. So they do what? Targeted approach. So if multiple approach targeting to one person, it's a spear phishing. If random approach targeting to random people, that is a mass phishing. So when you say like somebody send message that key now you have earned good amount of money, or maybe RBI have new sort of concept, or Nigerians or some different country, I'm not pointing country but anywhere, if somebody saying that key you won a lottery ticket, so kindly fill this information or something like that, it's a mass phishing. In that case, we have told that like you should not click on phishing link, but we never told that like what kind of situation is there. In this scenario, lottery ticket was there, correct? The website is same, but the initiative is what? Lottery ticket. So when you say lottery ticket, what happened? Your greediness is there. So when instead of this greed part, you click on that link, you give information, simultaneously what happened? You lose your money. So in that case, we should avoid the tactics, the greedy part. It could be in any manner. So sometime this spearfishing and different things are there. Coming back to some other pointers like man in the middle attack. If suppose two person is talking, two person are chatting, or maybe a person is doing some sort of transaction through any banking website. If some hacker use some software and they intercept information, then it's called man in the middle attack. And that is happening through technological perspective things which is there. Point number 2, APT, advanced persistent threat. So any particular malware which remain present in any organization for longer period without detection.
Okay.
So it's mean that a persistent threat for that domain which is there. So what is happening? Some nation sponsored hackers or threat actor, or you can say adversaries, they do what? They try to attack into any machine by exploiting the vulnerability. Vulnerability is a weakness basically. So maybe I am saying that in this Ram Mandir something initiative or so and so, now please take please register for a VIP entry again, because the gates are open.
Okay.
So now this is called narrative, but the technological things which is going to use is called chat GPT or called generative AI based concept. So once they drafted or crafted some sort of good email through this technological thing and sending to me or to you, anyone, and if you don't know exactly this is real or fake, if you entered that information, that something means like our data is gone to the hacker basically, correct? Maybe that hacker or the criminal may send that PDF file or document which contain registration form. So by the time when you download that PDF file onto our machine, maybe that PDF document could be malfunctioned. If that malfunctioned PDF is in like malicious content, then what happened? My computer may be a part of that victim, I mean that a payload for the hacker. Hacker try to connect with the payload to that malicious PDF, and they try to connect my machine. Once they have a proper communication in the simplest manner, I am trying to explain in a very simplest manner. So that payload, when that agent will connect, then hacker have a remote access to my machine. So once he have access of my machine through that vulnerable or weak or malicious PDF, then he can try to or she can try to extract information that's called data exfiltration. And that could be what? That could be my PDF file, that could be my document file, my Excel file, my JPEG images. These data are very lightweight. So when they take entire data, then they may misuse this. Simultaneously, it's known as a data breach. So this is the angle where a hacker come through vulnerability exploitation, attacking through phishing attack, and these threats are very big for individual to the company as well. So now take one example. You're working with company. Company could be very big. You got one mail that key kindly send me the purchase order for the product.
Okay.
In that case, we do what? We reply to the same thing. So first time that is called the information where they sending some sort of content in PDF file or maybe some form file or maybe some phishing URL. So that is the indicator. So attack medium is what here? Attack surface, attack medium, attack vector. These are technical terms generally which we are using in cyber threat intelligence. Attack vector is like phishing, that email part.
Yes.
Then medium is like internet or like browser based. So similarly, what happened when we study these all element, when we found that key yes the URL is fake, then what happened? Then the fake element is what? Hacking these things.
Yeah, sometimes online job seekers become the victim of these type of cyber attacks.
Exactly.
Am I right?
Yeah, completely agree. Like that is called brand abuse. Brand monitoring is very important. Suppose I am just pointing some name. If somebody want to search any job, they have to upload the content or their CV, their resume on some website. Could be Naukri, Times Job. These are the well-known platform. There are other platforms as well. And
they ask for a paid subscription also.
That is secondary mechanism, but initially they are going to there. Now tell me one thing, suppose somebody said naukrijob.com website, naukrijobs.com website. If you got any mail from this domain or they use naukri.com or Times Job logo of that website or Amazon or Flipkart or Google or YouTube or WhatsApp, then people think that what? People think this job maybe came from these entity, correct?
Yes, correct.
And when the people going to report or to log in, that it is very simplest process. So here is what one is called the fake advertisement. That is one. Second, the website is fake. So cyber threat intelligence play here important role where it can tell exactly what it can tell. No, this is not the genuine website first. Why? Because this website is recently registered. Times job is running from 10, 15, 20 years, but the times job.in or .co whatever that recently created. That is one element. Second, they may check the certificate. If the website having proper certificate but free certificate like Let's Encrypt or any sort of thing, again it give a indicator that that hacker is using free certificate to make sure that the website look legit. Then third, the content on the website is not completely look like Naukri.com. It's like a copied content. Like they don't have a proper contact detail. They don't have proper terms and condition at the bottom. They don't have proper images. So sometimes it's look fishy, a crafted website. So sometimes when people register themselves and if suppose it asks for money, then it's another third sign that yes, it could be suspicious. So no doubt many people they trap into this kind of tactics, and here if the threat intel company is there which is linked with Naukri.com website or any specific website, they can flag that thing if something is running by your name.
Yes.
And impersonating your brand, something like that. So immediately they can stop these things. So generally we have seen these things in finance fintech environment like the banking website. Many banking websites are there in this regard.
Yeah. We are on 5-day, 5-hour online training program, as the topic of this online program is cyber security concerns in emerging technologies, and today especially we are talking about demystifying cyber threat intelligence. Sir, what is next to learn on this topic?
Look, next is about the landscape and attack surface which we talk about. Like what are the landscape in front of us? What are the attack surface, the medium, and in technical term like what technology tools and framework generally which we are using to understand exactly how these things are work, and that can really help for investigation perspective, for incident response perspective. So that is ahead in the presentation as well. So now moving back to the presentation, even though we have one threat landscape and attack surface, you can see clearly like one is called abuse of technology, second is called weakest link, third is called geopolitical concept, fourth is called new regulations and evolving. So here if you see anything in any bucket, we do have one like in abuse of new technology where we have industry reliance on the cloud, like cloud technology is there. Patching critical software vulnerability, the weakness are there where we have to understand how to patch those technology or those things. Integration or emerging new technology like AI, ML based generative things which is there. Similarly, weakest link is what? Endless spearfishing. So these terms somehow link with the threats and their landscape, and the major point is called attack surface. So attack surface is what, like it could be cyber resilience process. It could be larger data breaches concept. It could be emerging or evolving zero-day attacks, zero-day APTs which is there. So these are the pointers. So now point is like how these threats coming, I mean where they are coming from, what are the source of this origination. So we have seen that there are different people or threat actors who generally behind these things. It could be hostile nations, it could be corporate spies. So similarly when we discuss, one is what like the entity is could be a person who may be a security professional for doing good job. Sometimes these the same person maybe use this same concept for offensive perspective. So the tools and technology remain the same. The only one thing different, that is called intention. If the intention is for good purpose, that is called defensive mechanism, defensive approach. But the same concept used for offense perspective is called offensive one. So sometime what is happening, the threat actors they can help for the country, for the nation. Then they report the vulnerability, the weakness to the government of India, to the organization, to respective concern. But sometimes if they misuse that information or that thing for cybercrime perspective, then what is that? That is the negative element. So we have to also make sure sometime the information which we are getting, from where we are getting. What is the use of information? Is that new information? Is that old information? The information can really help. What is the implication or the impact of that information? That is also part of this concern. Hackers are the person Corporate spies are the person generally who leak the information. Sometimes they are the insider threats. Sometimes somebody may do a blackmail to a person because he or she may leak some information. So sometimes like they known as a disgruntled employees, and they are the part of insider threat. So insider threat is one of the another angle or medium where company have or the individual have to think that is a serious concern.
Yes.
Terrorist group, hacktivist, natural disasters, these are the also threat actors or cyber threats. So sometime like you can say natural disaster, if there is a server, for example, the server is in such place where that contain crucial information. If any natural calamity is there, if any like a storm or like any earthquake or any sort of things happen, then what happened? It could be the loss of information. So there should be some DR, some recovery mechanism or some data concept where they can recover and they can able to restore the information for functioning, smooth functioning of the thing which is there. Organized crime and organization, they are also the part of the concept where the set of people who are into different technology, different knowledge perspective. Some person may be good into like programming, some person may be good into like hacking, some person good into writing some concept, some person may be good into spreading information. So when multiple people, multiple angle they collect or they run any mechanism or any group or organization, they known as organized criminals basically. And these criminals are no doubt they have a very tech savvy one. They have know the tactics to evade themselves from the authorities or law enforcement agencies, and simply they have an anti-forensics concept where forensic people, even though not able to find or get the information which is linked with those elements which is there.
Yes.
So things are there. This is the threats which is in front of you. And the last is called accidental actions of authorized user. Sometime due to some mistake something happened. Sometime if any mistake which is done by the hacker, then what happened? The user, then that is also act of crime. And sometime these crimes can be lead to the cyber criminals perspective which is there.
Okay.
So now we have next slide which is talking about phases of CTI. So life cycle perspective, it is very clear, like first we collect. You see the circle where first is collection, where we focus about things, then we do process, then analyze, dissemination, feedback and planning and direction. So what is happening that first of all, if any incident happened, we should know what to do, what to collect, how to collect, what team is there, the strategy basically.
Yes.
Once it done properly, then we have to process the information and process the content or the indicators.
Yes.
Then we have to analyze the information, what is what. Accordingly, we disseminate the information to the concerned agency. Accordingly, we take the feedback and the output which is there. And the fourth, very important, that is called the planning and direction. So in planning and direction, that is about the thing which can really help for the thing. So planning and direction tells exactly like if suppose in future again if the hacking is done, then how to prevent ourselves. In this incident, what exactly we are lacking with? Do we lacking with solutions, software? Do we lacking with the tools and technologies which is there? Do we lacking with the time? Or maybe that incident is very big where we are not able to solve the concern. So sometimes that lesson learned is also very important for the investigation which is there. Now the importance is what exactly? The importance is what like threat intelligence is actionable. Threat intelligence is actionable when it is timely reported to the perspective. And similarly, we are talking about the content which is like understood by the people and the making decisions which is there. So threat intel like actionable when you have a clear information, when you have proper thing to study or to give to the person which is really important for the crime perspective. So one is called CNI. So CNI is what like critical national infrastructure which is there. So predictive intelligence, predictive analysis, which is a enabler for better incident prioritization. So what is happening here, like think in a very simplest manner. A company is there to save that company, like what other things we can do for the betterment. So we do survey, like what is how the company performing. We do internal survey as well, like what is the infrastructure is all about, and accordingly that survey input output we accordingly we plan. And so now what happened, accordingly we plan the situation which is there. But when you're talking about the cyber perspective, again we check everything on technological perspective which is there. So when you talk about the technological perspective, where we talk about the concept which is talking about like information which is available on internet.
Okay.
Maybe somebody posting something on Twitter about the company, then it could be defamation, it could be negative element. So whenever it could be negative or positive, generally what happen, it comes on the social media platform. Sometime on social media they have to also scout and monitor ki what is good thing or bad reviews or good reviews or writing against that company. Accordingly they have to take action. So sometimes this is also very important for the CTI part. Second point, maybe some information which is leaked on social media about that company. Maybe somebody putting up feedback that this thing is not working or this information is there. In this regard, that information can be timely taken, and accordingly people or the concerned authority, they can able to take action for the crime perspective. And now we have some sort of matrix in front of you which is taken by some sort of companies, that is again depending on company, but let's move ahead, which is about the same thing. So now the main point is about the attribution. Look, we have to think in a very clear manner that if any attack is there, who, why and how. If you know exactly who has done that particular, so that is called attribution. We have to check, and we have to check exactly why that person or that entity or that threat actor did, what is the intention behind that. And similarly we talk about how it happened. I mean, it is because of the technical issue, it is because of the human angle. So if you find or get to the answer of these three elements, who, why, how, I am telling you the cyber threat cycle will cover entire in this particular. So once we see if any attack is done, like a data breach happened, then first we should know who has done this all, why he has done, and how the mechanism. If we know that how, then we can patch that information. If we patch that information, then that really can help for the analysis perspective. So these are the things in terms of there. Now we have futuristic cyber threat identification. So when you're talking about the futuristic cyber threat identification, so then we have to think about the detection methods basically. If we do detection method, then only we can mitigate threats, and the speed is very important for their immediate response. That is one. Security programs must be able to detect threats quickly and efficiently, so attackers don't have enough time to root like this one. Point here is that if we take any information in real time, accordingly we take action on real time, then we can save our data or the damage which is maybe impact, which maybe go through this particular incident. So that is the one agenda where we have to think. So first is what like collection of information from various sources, that is one. It's not like if somebody said one thing then we have to take information. No, we have to cross check from multiple entity.
Definitely.
That is one. Similarly, data intelligence and predictive analysis. If we have data, then we do data intelligence. Accordingly we do predictive intelligence or predictive analysis, like if the data came in the month of June, then there's chances that in the June month which software was there, what are the people who work on the same thing, accordingly they can plan action. That is the second point. Similarly, strengthening the human intelligence. I am telling you, human intelligence, human play important role for gathering information, for gathering the intelligence, because tool can help for actionable information, tool can work for the automation, but to study, to quantify, to understand the emotion, only the human angle can play important role. So human intelligence again the thing. So strengthening those things which is there. Conducting red and blue team exercise. Generally we see hacking part. So in hacking generally what we do, we use some sort of Linux, Kali or different operating system to perform attack or to do hacking or to safeguard ourselves as well. By the same time, if we use same thing for working on behalf of company or against the company, so sometimes that can really help to quantify, or it can identify the list of available vulnerability against the company. So that time that blue team, red team exercise could play a really important role, and that is the one thing. Setting up of honeypots, sinkholes. So honeypots, sinkholes, that is also a very important element where they can check who are the hackers or threat actors who play important role to attack perspective. So suppose a hacker, they are trying to attack many manners. So generally what happens, we should know exactly, yes, this person is trying to access our website many times. Who is this basically? Why he is taking information? So sometimes these honeypot sensors and these traps really help to know exactly who are the regular visitor or traffickers for our website like this one. then behavior, then malware team should be there, forensic team. I am telling you, forensics team really important for incident response. Forensic team can able to tell with the help of data, with the help of fact wise information that something happened. So now if you ask me what happened, then we check the CCTV. Now CCTV tell that exactly there are number of person came into this premise. If there is no CCTV, no evidence. There is no evidence, there is no output basically. So sometimes this data can play important role, but behind that the forensicators or the forensic team play a very important role to identify and project these data in a factual manner. Accordingly it can work out.
Okay.
Collaboration with international organizations. In cyber threat intelligence, it's not like hacker is sitting only in one place. It's not from Delhi itself, not from Karnataka, not from Mizoram. It could be from any place, maybe San Francisco, maybe Canada, maybe from XYZ place. So hacker use internet the medium, but attack method could be anything. If anybody want to download the content of NCRT, he just need internet. If the website is accessible to pan India, pan world, basically anybody can download. But if you want to know exactly who are the user, then we have to check from the logs. Log is basically a artifact, a potential evidence to showcase exactly who are the visitor of our downloaders for the website.
Okay.
So now we do have CII. When talking about the CII, that is called critical information infrastructure. We have seen that education sector like this, we are into education sector in CRT. We have irrigation department called water, defense, telecommunication, financial, government, hospital, industry, energy and transportation. So generally what we do have, we have different entities, different organizations who are the part of critical. So like we talk about telecommunication, for one perspective time, if the network is jammed, then what happens? We are not able to make a call. If the person who are depending on internet through only mobile, if any VC is going on, if any communication is going on, then it could be interrupted and many loss could be faced by the concerned company or agencies.
Definitely.
Similarly, we should understand the critical infrastructures are the prime target for the attackers. So when you say the country specific, nation specific attacks are there, so the new generation, new thing which is coming, that's called cyber war.
Okay.
It's not a normal war. Cyber war, like everyone sitting at one place and they try to attack in a different mechanism.
Yeah.
I'm telling you one thing, like for all entire situation, we should know about information technology. We should know about how internet works, how the networking works. If you click one page, you download on one button, or if you click on contact, by the time when you connect on contact button, how the content is going to server. Server and client, how its play role into the OSI or TCP packets basically. So generally what happened that how this computer network play role, that is very important. So sometime when any attack is happening with the help of CNIS, critical infrastructure, then what is it's an open surface area. Anybody can try to check the website one, they can try to check number of port which is open, they try to check the version which is there, they try to check the IP part which is there. Apart from that, they may use some sort of scripts, or you can say tools or utilities which is freely available, maybe commercial tool. They try to attack. Once they attack, they get the information. Once they get information, they have entire juicy information for attack against the nation. That information could be used for data breach or data perspective. Maybe if hacker can try to spread ransomware onto the machine, then it's a part of ransomware attack. So there could be anything. So sometime if the same scenario happen or going to happening with a critical infrastructure, then what happen? It could be a big havoc. So we have to understand exactly, sometimes we have to very careful when cyber threat intelligence play a role into the area of CNI.
Yes.
Now next is about the hybrid attack. Ever you thought that the technologies are coming like IoT, we're talking about UAV drones, autonomous driving, artificial intelligence, machine learning things, robotics, 5G network, multiplayer gaming, NFTs, cryptocurrencies. So sometimes which is also important for the same thing. So now in the slide we can see the methods which can tell like how these technologies can be misused. Maybe you think that somebody having access of drone, or maybe Internet of Thing. So like yesterday only we have seen that there is a mass level of DDoS attack on electronic based toothbrush. So it's very weird news, like bizarre kind of concept, like if any toothbrushes are linked with Internet of Things like that, it can be DDoS, then it's a big impact as well. So sometimes this 5G network, crypto perspective, these are new technology where this blockchain based things or like CTI, they are playing very important role for the countering of the information.
Yes.
So now we have types of data, types of like information. When we say white, it's like a no restriction. That information can be passed to any entity, any organization. If it is green, amber, red. So red is very clear. Red is called need to know basis, where we have to no share. We have to, sorry, red for no sharing, like it could be only for concerned agency. No other agency should know about this information. So that is red TLP. TLP stands for traffic light protocol. Generally, when we see in any document, it's called be confidential, restricted in general term.
Yes.
Similarly, we talk in this particular about the that is called the TLP, that is called red, is called red. So that we have to tell or to the concerned agency, that is one. And at the last we have seen that indicator of compromise. If we talk about cyber and we are not talking about IOC, then it's like we are missing something. An indicator of compromise is very important in this cyber security perspective, where hash values, URL, domain, IP, mobile number, these are the indicators generally. So when you talk about cyber crime perspective, we have phone numbers, SMS, UPI handle, different entities which is there. So we have to understand exactly. When you're talking about indicator of compromise, generally we have a hash value. It could be MD5 SHA-1 like this. It could be URL abcd.com, www.abcd.com. But it could be IP addresses like 122 dot something with port number.
Okay.
So these three elements which we report. But talking about the cyber crime perspective of threat intelligence or indicator of compromise called IOC, in this regard we have these elements.
Okay.
So now a simple example in a very quick shot. Inputs, analysis and output. So one is called cyber threat intelligence, which is one, where we collect all the threat feeds from indicators, from the malicious traffic, from the threats, from the IOC, from the attack. That is one. Analysis is what, like we should have some lab, some sort of mechanism where we do static analysis, where we do dynamic analysis, where we do memory analysis.
Yes.
So sometime when we have a huge data, there should be some sort of mechanism to study this information. So that is the analysis part. And the last is very important, called output. Here we do dissemination. The information, when we found, like today we got to that key, there are 30 antivirus companies who pretend themselves as antivirus, but they are the malware. And they have been removed from Google Play Store. So here how it happened, because somebody given the input.
Yes.
Or maybe some threat actors or malwares have find this information. And then what happened, threat analysis team, they did analysis. Accordingly, output was done, then this is work.
Sir, can we conclude this particular session, or can you give a tip of the day to our viewers?
Yeah, definitely I can. So one very important, like in cyber perspective things, if something is coming, we have to assure that it should not be fake news.
Definitely.
It should be clear. The origination, exactly where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Everything is available on internet. It's not like it's true. We have to verify it. I know we are trusting the things, but if it is not from the real source, then it's not a right mechanism.
Yes.
For example, there is some sort of like information by the name of government entities. Sometimes we think it's true, but it's not true. We have to verify it. So sometimes it's a fake thing. So we have to check from PIB news or something like that. Point number 2, to report something, we should have a right mechanism. If something relate with railway ministry or any ministry something, or pollution or something, we have to go to the concerned agency or their website. They have some grievance reporting concept. If you face any issue regarding cyber perspective, the nodal of India like certain is there, or cyber crime perspective, you can report these things which is there.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, sir, because this is a really very informative session, and our viewers are so happy to be with you. As the our viewers said, this is the informative and innovative. That's so many appreciation we got from the viewers. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Deepak Kumar is with us. Sir is a senior cyber intelligence expert from I4C MHA. Sir, namaskar and
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you, the viewers, basically.
So this is the day 5 of this online training program. Now I'm going to tell you how you can register yourself or how you can participate in this quiz. So that's on your screen. I'm going to tell you. First of all, type CIET on any browser or any search engine you are using. That's a home page of CIET, Central Institute of Educational Technology. That's a NCRT CIET. So this is a menu bar, and you have to go on that initiate activities section. Then workshop training. That's the second last option on your screen. Click on this, and now we are on that page. Our ongoing activity. That's a current activity with the title Online Training Program Cyber Security Concern in Emerging Technologies. That's a day 5. So we are going to tell you about the quiz. Post session quiz is going on air in within half an hour. At 5:30 you will be able to visit this quiz, so that for that you have to register and participate as you can, possibly as early you can. So that's each and every information is clearly mentioned there, and who can participate there mentioned, student, teachers, educator, parents, administrator, general public, whoever you are, please feel free to participate in this. And we have some clear objectives to conduct this online training program. Here we mention it in next program schedule, and the presentation link and video link is also there. So best of luck to the sessions you have to watch, and best of luck for the quiz. Please feel free to give your feedback also, as now we are on how to participate section. You have to register yourself by clicking on this link, or you can scan this QR code as well. And on this page you have to give in all the information of yours, your name very clearly, your destination, your designation, that please clearly mention all these information. Next step, to watch live training sessions on NCERT official or the links given there. And next we are participation in post session quiz activity. For that you have to score 70% marks or above to get a participation certificate. The post session assessment link is there. You have to click on this, as opening date is already mentioned 9th of Feb, yani today's date, and 5:30, half an hour, after half an hour the session, that quiz will be open for you. And next step 4, submit your feedback. So please feel free to submit your feedback, whatever you like about this sessions, whatever you don't like, please share your feedback to us. And one another thing is a closing date of this particular quiz is mentioned there. 1st March of 2024 by 5:30 is the last date or the closing date of this quiz. Please do hurry, and for any query reach us on training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in or call on 8800440559. So web page link is also there, and the QR code is linked there. So feel free to connect with us, and all the very best for this post session quiz activity. You are all watching us on eVidya channel number 6 to 12. Before signing off from this online training program, I am very happy to be with you, and I am giving this tip to you. Please feel free, please be safe, and please be safe, stay safe from cybercrime, and do aware. Now Sahyog session is with you within some minutes, and the topic for today is overcoming performance fear in adolescence. So please stay with us on NCERT's live interactive sessions. My name is Rajan Rajput, and I am signing off from this 5-day 5-hour online program on cyber security. Namaskar. Have a nice day.